Hey guys, welcome back to Heiko Shaves. Today is a special day. It's going to be a special shave. The moment we have all been waiting for a long time. What I did, I worked my way up. I worked up my courage and I bought a used Muehle R41. Comes in this beautiful gray box here with a Muehle. Muehle, the name, is a windmill, right? And on the back is a sticker, DE. I'm not sure if that stands for Germany, for Deutschland, or for double-edged. Traditional Rasierhobel, offener Kamm, Griffmaterial, Metallchrom. So in English, traditional safety razor, open comb, handle material, chrome-plated metal. A little sticker, barcode. And I've already taken it out of the box because I bought it used and I needed to make sure I disinfected a little bit in IPA. Little manual in here. I don't know exactly what they tell us. Oh, just to how to put it together. Some warnings. Don't cut yourself. How to shave. Not to danger of skin laceration, serious injury, and severe bleeding. Okay, let's put that out of the way. It did not come with any kind of blades. No, actually it does. There is one single scharfe Klinge innenliegend, sharp blade inside. One Muehle blade. And since I've never tried a Muehle blade, shall we try it? Let's try it. So here's one Muehle. Muehle Rasierklinge, Rasierkultur. So it's shaving culture. A couple little dabs of wax on there. Rasierkultur. Razor culture. All right, so I guess we're going to use a Muehle. I've never used one of those, so I don't know what to expect. Let's take a look here at the razor. Let me dry that off. There's still a little IPA on there. Very similar looking to the R89. This is the R89 that is the cousin to the Edwin Jagger. And this one here is the R41. As you can see, open comb. This one here is kind of like a closed comb with a little bit of some texturing on there, but this is an actual open comb. And this type of open comb reminds me a lot about the DE5. Ooh, there's a razor blade in there. Let's take that out real quick. Don't want to cut myself in my fingers again. The DE5 by Fine, made overseas, somewhere in China. But they put quite a few different design features in there. So they gave it a non-typical top design, which is kind of, you know, different than most other DE razors. And it has this hybrid open comb. And the R41 is very similar to that. So that's the only thing that reminds me really of this DE5 by Fine. Gotta get back to this one as well. This one can be quite aggressive. If you put too much pressure on, you nick yourself with this one. But if you treat it with respect, it is a really nice shaving razor. And today we're going to try to find out if the R41 by Muehle, here at the bottom it says Muehle, it's spelled M-U with a 2 dots, which is a combination letter. It's a combination of a U and an E. So instead of U-E, they write U with a 2 dots. Muehle and Muehle. Yeah. No other markings anywhere else. Let's take this apart and take a look at the bottom of the top here. Top cap, just 2 alignment pins and the threads. This is the most traditional way of putting it. And I kind of like it because you put the blade on and you immediately have 3 items that line up everything. This is cast zinc. Here's a number on it. There's a number 5 cast into this. So I don't know what that means. Nothing else. No Muehle, no made in Germany. So unfortunately, that's it. But the handle is exactly the same as here on the DE. Correction. R30. Can't speak. R89. R89, you know, the cousin of the Edwin Jagger. So, yeah, we already know what kind of blade we're going to use. It's going to be the Muehle blade. Since they have it in the manual, here are the 2 pieces, top and bottom. We just grab this brand new blade and put it on there. And then we're going to take our handle and screw it tight. The blade tabs are just ever so slightly sticking out. They're almost covered. I mean, there is like a fraction of a millimeter sticking out. So chances that you will cut yourself are pretty slim. Immediately I noticed that the head is pretty wide, that the cutting edge of the blade is, like 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the razor head. And what I also noticed is, sharp pointy corners, which, that's just my problem. What else are we going to use? So I noticed I have this huge container of Mountain Man by Stirling sitting here with a matching aftershave and aftershave splash with menthol. Bought that a long while ago and I've really only used it once, I think, in a video. So full container, and we're going to lather this up in my scuttle. Oh, just open it. It's very fresh. Almost lemony smelling. They usually have a scent description on here. Small batch artisan shave soap. No. Beef tallow, stearic acid, distilled water, castor oil, potassium hydroxide, vegetable glycerin, fragrance oil, almond oil, shea butter, coconut milk, lanolin, sodium hydroxide, sodium lactate. Yeah, very fresh. And the aftershave is matching. And we have a Stirling brush. This one here is called the Kong. Has a 26 millimeter knot in here. So it's pretty high loft, very soft. And haven't used it much because, it's a huge knot. You get like soap everywhere. I usually prefer the smaller ones, but we're going to use it today. I already have my scuttle filled. Let's grab some soap out of this container here with my little spoon. It's a semi-hard. That's a lot of soap. But I already explained. I've too much soap. I'm afraid that this is all going to go bad before I manage to use it up. So I'd rather use a little more. So we have it in the scuttle. I'm just going to squeeze it to the bottom. I just put it in and then try to get it to stick to the walls or the bottom of the scuttle. Can't show you, or else the water's going to come out of the scuttle. What I forgot to fill is my sink. So let me pause here for a second. Yeah, when the razor showed up in the mail, I got a little excited. Unfortunately, we have construction going on in our driveway. We're building a big carport with a sun deck on top of it, and they're excavating the footings right now. So there is an excavator running and a saw to saw cut asphalt and all that kind of stuff. So I picked the moment when they are on lunch break. So, okay, we have a blade in the razor. We can put the R89 away. What else do we need to do? Oh yeah, maybe we need to do some pre-shave. Let's do Cremo pre-shave. A little bit of water. And then a dollop of Cremo. Excuse me. And I'm not going to say how many passes this is going to be. I have 2 days of growth. And we're going to see how, let's say, how gentle the R41 is, or how well my skin handles it. And if it's too aggressive, we're just going to cut it short. All right, get the brush wet and right into my scuttle here. And we're just going to stir everything up. And a little bit more water. And a little bit more water. Yeah, this needs a lot of water, or else it's going to be too creamy in the end, especially with a large amount of soap that I put in here. And I'm listening. You guys keep saying I need to take my time with the lathering process and not rush it. And you're probably right. The big bubbles need to disappear. The small bubbles need to form. And then when it's actually foam that can hold a shape. And then we're getting closer. Let's take a little bit more water. This is a huge, huge knot. And this will hold so much lather that I almost have to get rid of some. All right, let's put a little bit more water in my face. Like that. And off we go. Yeah, the scent is pretty mild but fresh. Really fresh smelling, like a spring flower covered pasture in the mountains where the mountain man sits and sharpens his axe. I don't know. Very fresh. No burning sensations on my skin. Very good, very good, very good. There we go. All right, so R41, known to be a rather feisty, a little bit aggressive razor. Blade exposure, as you can see, there isn't really much, but just the angles of the whole thing, how the blade edge is immediately exposed here. And the wide spacing of the open comb teeth. So when you push too hard, your skin gets in between the teeth and then you can cut yourself. So you really just have to take it easy on the pressure. All right, we're gonna start shaving right now. You can also increase the angle and right the top cap a little bit more, and that helps with aggression. Oh yeah. There is a significant amount of blade feel. I'm a little nervous, I gotta say. Gentle on the pressure. Nice straight strokes, don't slip off to the side. The Muehle blade seems to be fairly sharp. I don't feel much tugging. Usually when I get to like 2-3 days of growth and you have a little bit of a dull blade, it starts tugging. I might not speak while I'm blade in my face. I'm a little bit more nervous than usual. You can feel the blade. It's definitely telling you it's there. So I want to say this is probably the most aggressive I have shaved with. I'm not saying it's the most aggressive razor because some of the adjustables, if I would go setting maximum, they would probably be more aggressive and have more blade feel than this one, but I just don't shave at that level. This also doesn't need as much blade buffing. Okay, let's be gentle under the nose. Yeah. Whew. The stress, the inner tension. And we're definitely going to be very careful near my Adam's apple. I don't have such a pronounced Adam's apple, but there's just enough, you know, right behind the skin. If you push a little bit, you're going to cut that right off. This is definitely very bladey. Yeah. This is not going to be the razor that I'm going to go for at 6 a.m. I can tell you that. So if I would have to classify this so far on my Heiko's aggression level scale 1 through 5, it's definitely a 4.5 to 5. I mean, it is the most aggressive that I've shaved with this far. And so therefore it should probably be a 5, right? All right, let's lather up again. Even though I'm going with a grain on my neck, I'm already feeling a little bit of some discomfort right there. But so far, we haven't nicked ourselves yet. R41 is in the house. I thought we're never going to get there. In the very beginning, I was nicking myself with pretty much every razor that I had. And by now, after a little less than a year, I am now pretty comfortable even experimenting with razors, adjustables, and setting them a little higher. Alrighty guys, second pass across the grain, and we're going to be very gentle on the pressure. Yeah, so far. And you see that I blow up my cheek a little bit, put some air in there to straighten out all the wrinkles. The wrinkles we would definitely catch on. And you also need to get your lip out of the way. You might catch that and then chop off a piece. Just don't lose concentration. Just stay focused on low pressure. Very good so far. It is even on the second pass, and I keep saying, you know, on the second pass, a razor might not feel as aggressive anymore because most of the stubble's already gone, and so the blade is cutting less. So it feels a little milder here. In this case, there's still a lot of blade feel. Yeah. Muehle blade, Muehle razor, Rasierhobel. So it's a shaving planer. Rasierhobel, German word, means shaving planer, like the planer that you use in the wood shop. Okay. So let's do a quick little inspection. I don't feel comfortable enough to go against the grain on my neck. Or do I? There is still just a tiny little bit left. I mean, 2 pass with such an aggressive, efficient razor is definitely good enough to walk out the house and nobody's going to say anything. So it definitely took care of the 5 o'clock shadow here. But you know, when you shave and you take the time to set up everything, you want it smooth. So let's just lather up for a let's call it a pickup pass. I'm going to do against the grain up here, my cheeks, I think, and my chin, but probably with a grain on my neck. I just don't want to risk it to be all razor burn down there. Let's just do it. Again, the handle is a little slick. You know, the chrome covered, even though there is some fine knurling on it, it's a little on the slick side, especially if you have some soap on it. So let's do against the grain up here. Yeah, not bad, not bad. There is blade, as long as you respect it. Yeah, don't overdo it, Heiko. Especially under my nose, right here. Gotta be extra careful. Alrighty, guys. I'm gonna go with a grain down here. Just gonna do another pass. Just some nice stretching. As you can see, whew, we made it. 3 passes. Let's check the final result. Up above here, perfect. Little bit in the problem zone here, but like I keep saying in other videos, I've said that many times, I'm just not overdoing it here. It's just not worth it to be bleeding and to be like all, you know, irritated for the next couple hours. I'd rather not do that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Let me rinse off. Very nice. The soap has lots of slickness, and I'm assuming I can attribute this to beef tallow. Beef tallow is just, you know, the slick stuff. I like it. The soap didn't give me any problems, no irritations, no burning sensation. The R41, let's rinse that off here so I can put it in front of you. The R41 did a good job. I mean, you gotta respect it. And as long as you do that and you keep the pressure down, you can shave with it. I wouldn't want to have to do this every morning at 6 a.m. being so careful not to get my skin in there and lopping off pieces. But we have no lacerations, no severe bleeding, as this little warning booklet was talking about. And overall, I really appreciate it. So, like I said, this is not going to turn into my daily, for sure. This is going to be more like a special. If we want to find out if this is still the crown holder of the aggressive razor in the world, maybe we have to compare it to some other razors in the future. Maybe we're going to do a comparison to a fairly similarly designed DE5 by Fine, which has this open comb situation here. This one here, I didn't talk about that earlier, but this one here actually has a positive blade exposure. So if you draw an imaginary line between the top edge here and the comb, if the blade protrudes past that line, it's a positive blade exposure. And this one has positive blade exposure. Blade gap wise, between the comb and the blade, there isn't much blade gap. but it's not needed really. Lather has a lot of space to go, you know, and to go through and then come out here at the bottom. It took 90% of the stubbles off in the first pass. So very efficient, but aggressive feeling and bladey feeling. So 4.5 to 5. We'll see if we ever come across something that's more aggressive than this. But I managed to shave with it without killing myself. And now we're going to use Mountain Man aftershave, which is mentholated and has alcohol in it. Denatured alcohol, witch hazel, which is nice. It's the skin toner, so to speak. It sucks everything together. Fragrance oil, aloe, glycerin, and hydrovans. Good splash in my hand. Oh yeah. So this is menthol plus powerful fragrance. It's a little woodsy smelling. Not even on my neck. There is not much burning sensation. It's just the fumes coming off that kind of make it hard to breathe. And I have a little bit of a mentholy sensation here in this section. You know, I've mentioned that a few times before. I have pretty dry skin up here, and even my dry skin already kind of is sensitive to alcohol-based aftershaves. But the razor didn't leave any bleeding behind. We made it through the R41. I guess now I have to give up the hobby. What else more challenging could there be? I know you guys are going to say shavette or straight edge razor. I am not quite there yet. I have shaved with a shavette before, let's say 20 years ago, 25 years ago, as a young man. And I managed to not cut my arteries open, but it was just so much effort to get a shave out of it without cutting parts of yourself off that I don't know if I'm going to go there. But hey, there are so many more DE razors, safety razors, single edge razors that I haven't tried. I have a vintage one coming up pretty soon for you guys that I won in a giveaway. Shout out to Stubble Meets Steel. Thank you. So, R41, good shave, happy skin, and a good soap, and a strongly scented aftershave, little woodsy. I wish there would be a scent description. I'll put it here somewhere on the screen. Just the top notes of what it's supposed to be. I always have a hard time figuring this out, but the menthol in here, it's still cooling my face. So really good stuff. Stirling overall, they are inexpensive. They give you good amounts. So this one here is, doesn't even say how many ounces. I want to say 5 ounces. So big container, like the standard full-size container that you also get from PAA. But price-wise, you can buy an aftershave and a soap for around 30 bucks. I'll put a price right here. This is good stuff. And they have so many different scents. If you want to work your way through the Stirling Soap and aftershave selection, they have every soap and every aftershave as a small sample. And the samples are not just those tiny little containers that you sometimes get, but they are pretty much like a slice of a full-size pug. That's nice. And it's easy to lather off of. And then you can buy those little tins from Stirling and store your soaps in there, or your samples. I think those little tins are like $2, so you can get a few samples, a few of those tins, and then even have a way of storing all that stuff. So overall, pretty happy, pretty surprised of how well this went. I expected to have at least a couple weepers in my face, but I guess I was careful enough. Alrighty guys, don't be shy, try out new things, find yourself a razor that you really like, or if you need a new challenge, just get yourself a Muehle R41. Alright, that is it for today. Thanks for watching and thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.